Well, first tonight, a former policeman has been jailed after counter-terrorism officers seized a haul of Nazi memorabilia and more than 100 weapons. Now, detectives say that Andrew Campbell was a dangerous extremist who changed his name after being sacked from the Nottinghamshire force. Today, Campbell was sentenced to almost 6 years for possessing 3 illegal guns and a silencer. Now, Nottingham Crown Court heard they were part of a treasure trove of weapons and that Campbell was interested in their capacity to injure. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball has more.
Andrew Campbell used to enforce the law. Now he's a convicted criminal, a former Nottinghamshire policeman facing years behind bars.
These are knives, as you can see, scattered around here.
It was counter-terrorism officers who seized all these weapons at Campbell's home in Towton.
Axes, big zombie knives. These are batons. So these are the style of baton that we use in the police service.
Then they searched a lock-up he'd rented nearby. These boxes were packed with more weapons and literature and memorabilia that rang alarm bells for them.
And found what can only be described as a bit of a treasure trove of guns. They are the kind of really significant lethal barreled weapons is the technical term, but it gives you that clarity there, doesn't it? They are lethal. Some weapons that have been adapted, ammunition for those weapons, knives, knuckle dusters. We also found a number of swastikas, other emblems that are really quite clearly from that Nazi mentality and ideology.
So how dangerous was Andrew Campbell?
I think Andrew Campbell was a really significant danger to the community. We are focused on making sure we stop future terrorism attacks. The people who move towards those attacks and complete them have trodden very similar pathways in the past.
It's several years since Campbell first made headlines. He changed his name from Graham Thornhill after being sacked as a Nottinghamshire police officer in 2017. That was for using excessive force against a dad who accused Campbell of a racially motivated attack as he drove his son to hospital. How concerned are you that a former police officer would be committing such serious offences?
It's a really serious concern. There's part of me that's glad to be able to make sure we can address those kind of individuals who've stepped away from that, who've brought that kind of disrespect to our profession as well. But also, really, it is about that core mission of making sure we're protecting people in the future.
Campbell also pleaded not guilty to 2 terrorism offences. They relate to instruction manuals for making lethal weapons at home. Those charges will remain on his prosecution file.
Well, Jeremy's at Nottingham Crown Court where Campbell was actually sentenced this afternoon. Jeremy, good evening to you. Obviously more details emerging there today.
Yes, Anne. The court heard that while those sentences involved 3 guns, Campbell had many more weapons that could be considered illegal. And the prosecution said today that he used a loophole for guns that can fire paintballs and only admitted charges for the weapons where illegal ammunition was actually recovered. There were also videos of Campbell testing modified guns by shooting into buckets and boxes. Campbell was interested in their capacity to injure, the prosecution said. They also talked about messages that Campbell sent, including one with a slogan referring to Muslims and the text, "Knock, knock, bang, bang."
Do we know why he did this?
Well, there was mitigation today from Jonathan Duffy KC, who said Campbell was a collector with a fascination for weapons, who was ashamed and who no longer held these extremist views, he said. But sentencing him to 5 years and 10 months today, the judge, Nirmal Shant KC, said that Campbell's white supremacist views were abhorrent. She added, though, that he was legally entitled to hold those views and that they played no part at all in his sentencing.
And he is still facing some further charges.
Yes, he is. Today he also denied 4 less serious charges, 2 of possessing flick knives, 2 more of sending grossly offensive messages. Now, those involve messages about kidnapping and mutilating a woman who he met after leaving the police force. They're going to be decided by magistrates. And Campbell was also given a 5-year restraining order today.
OK, Jeremy, thanks very much indeed for that.